Hey, we are the Coalition Loud and Proud Civilly Disobedient Media. We're here at Rhode Island Republican headquarters where I stopped by, kind of popped in the midst of a downpour. Uh, I wanted to catch up with Sue Cienki. Of course, she is the chairwoman of your Rhode Island Republican Party. And big, and I'm going to go boomer here, really big debate tonight. Something that folks have been anticipating, well, pretty much within about 5 minutes after now Congressman James Langevin announced his retirement from Congress. Of course, I'm talking about a debate between, well, they're both challengers, if you will. It's an open seat, a rarity in these United States. Seth Magaziner, and of course, he's going to be debating former Mayor Allan Fung. A lot riding on this. Both candidacies have taken vastly different approaches to the issues. The Magaziner campaign is largely focused on domestic issues, social issues, a lot of conversation about abortion, right to life issues. Mayor Fung's campaign, on the other hand, has taken a different tack, focusing on the economy, and taking a break occasionally to discuss, well, the economy. Sue, what's your expectation tonight, and well, how much is riding on this?
Well, we're very excited. This is the first of three debates. Tonight's debate is on the Rhode Island Public Radio. They did a great debate last week with our two gubernatorial candidates, Governor McKee and Ashley Kalis. So we anticipate the questions will be pointed and directed. We anticipate Allan, who has run the city of Cranston for the past 12 years very efficiently. He took that city from the red right back into a healthy, vibrant city. It became the second largest city in Rhode Island. So I think Allan is going to highlight how well he did with the economic issues in Cranston and why he should be the next congressman from CD2.
What issues reign prominent over the dinner tables of Congressional District 2 here in Rhode Island and, well, largely the nation at large?
Well, quite frankly, we've got a vigorous field operation going on here. We've hit over 100,000 doors in CD2. Wow. So we know what the voters are interested in. And the number one issue with over about 87% of the doors that we hit is inflation, the cost of living. Mm-hmm. Number two, of course, is education. And number three is crime. Those are the top three issues that we hear over and over again. But it's all about your pocketbook.
Just a few short months ago, President Biden, some would say shoehorned through Congress something called the Fight Inflation, Battle Inflation, whatever they were calling it that week, Build Back Better Inflation. Do you think that legislation is going to be prominently mentioned in tonight's discussion?
Well, I think it should be, because it has created inflation like we haven't seen in years and years and years. Mm-hmm. So I think when they dumped all that money into the currency in the United States, that we've got a huge problem here. Too much money circulating and the price of goods is coming up. You know, I think that will be highlighted. I think the energy policy will be highlighted, particularly because we live in New England and the winter is coming. You know, PUC just got a 47% increase that they gave to National Grid, now known as Rhode Island Energy. So I think that we have to be very concerned about what's going to happen up here in New England this winter.
It seems like New Englanders had a temporary reprieve in the price of gasoline. That's proven to be all too temporary, as over the last 2 weeks, gasoline prices resumed their march northward, precisely at a time when the American economy is depending so much, if you will, on retail traffic during the holiday seasons, if you will, transportation and travel during the holiday seasons, year-end spending during the holiday seasons. Could this have come at a worse time?
Well, quite frankly, what has happened is President Biden went and took out some of the oil reserves. When he depleted the strategic reserves, you know, it gave us a temporary reprieve from the high gas prices. But now we just see them, once that's gone, we see the high energy costs going right back up. We see the gas prices going right back up, and people are going to be hurting. As people moved away from COVID and not going back to work, we see people now having to travel again to go to work. And even though we're a small state, the gas prices are eating into your budget. So you now have to make a decision. Do I put gas in my car, or do I feed my family? Do I feed my family, or do I get my medicine? These are basic issues that is hitting every single Rhode Islander across the state.
The narrative that the opposition is pressing on is that all of this has a great deal with the Ukraine. Do you buy into that narrative?
No, we don't buy into that narrative because this was happening before the Ukraine happened. And we're sending billions of dollars over to the Ukraine. And one thing that we are very concerned about is that there are no boots in the ground. We don't want to send our troops over there to get involved in that. So it happened way before that.
Excellent. Well, again, this is, people are expecting to be the, again, boomer reference warning, rock'em sock'em robots tonight. There's so much at stake, both locally in terms of the composition of our congressional delegation here in Rhode Island, but there's also so much stake as, in fact, the two principal parties battle for control of the all-important House going into what is certainly going to be a tumultuous budget season. What are your predictions for tonight? I think I know, but what are your predictions for tonight?
I think Allan is going to knock it out of the park, and I think Allan is going to be our next congressman from CD2 come November 9th.
Well, thank you very much, Sue Cienki. She, of course, is your Republican Party chairman here in the great state of Rhode Island, weighing in on tonight. Listen, we're going to be there. We're going to try and live stream, depending on conditions. If nothing else, the coalition will have video after the fact, and hoping there's a spin room. A number of these debates have been notoriously deficient on what is called in the bubble, the political bubble, a spin room, which is where all of us clamber into this one tiny area and try and battle past the spin, particularly those folks who, my editorialization, not that of my guest right now, from my perspective on an editorial basis, it appears that the Democrats right now in this state are essentially trying to just do if you're a football fan, prevent defense. Just, they feel like they're up in a couple areas. This race, they're clearly not, so they're going to have to battle, but it appears statewide you got a lot of folks hiding in a lot of trenches. Coalition Radio Network, Facebook.com/The Coalition Radio, on the Mighty Mighty Twitter at Coalition_radio. Of course, the mothership at CoalitionRadioNetwork.com. Listen, independent media relies on your likes, your shares, as we try to wind our way based on issues through the white noise that the mainstream media presents. Please give us a moment of your time and like us or share us at any one of those sites. We'll be grateful. Folks, we'll be back probably another hour or two. We'll see you soon.